guys, I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to show you a new card game that I've been playing off stream now for the past 2 weeks. It's a lot of fun. It's called Legacy's Allure, and it's actually an in real life card game, meaning that you have to buy the board and the cards in person, and then you can play with other people. But if you don't want to do that, you have the option of playing this game online with people all over the world. You can download something we call Tabletop Simulator on Steam, and then you can play Legacy's Allure for free. And there's also a really nice community that are very eager to help new players get the knack of this game. And if you'd like to meet them or check it out, you can just join the Discord. I'm going to leave the link down below. Don't be hesitant. They're a very nice group of people. I've been playing with the developer Keith now for the past 2 weeks, and he's been teaching me the ins and outs of this game. I really had a fun time. If you want to play the physical game yourself, you're welcome to check out the Kickstarter campaign, which I will link down below. That's going to take you to the Kickstarter page where this game is officially being launched in person, and you'll be able to help participate in funding it. We've already almost reached $40,000, which is insane. And once you do that, you'll be able to receive your own physical copy of the game, physical cards, physical board, etc. I'm going to show you the games I played with Keith the other day, the developer. He's going to tell you exactly how this game works. And if you have any more questions, again, feel free to drop into the Discord and ask them. I quite like the orcs, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, go ahead and just do that. So go change your color to red.
Yeah, all right.
And I will be blue, and then once you've chosen your color in the bottom...
Starter.
Yeah, bottom right, click Starter. And so before you click on anything, I'll explain real quick to the audience. The game is, in its fullest form, played with 80 gold worth of units. That's kind of the point system, or I guess in Gwent you would call it like a provision system. Is that correct?
Exactly.
And yeah, so 80 gold it would be the normal size, but since this is a demo game, since I'm showing you how to play, we're going to start off with 50 gold. So a bit simpler. So you will click on Carthul, because that's the hero you're going to be playing. 50 gold Blitz.
There we go.
And Blitz means that we're not drafting. So again, in a full game, you would actually draft what units you want, what abilities you want, what items you want. But we're going to start off really simple. I'm basically giving you a pre-drafted, smaller size army that you can start with. And then I'm going to do the same thing on my end. I'm going to go to Tristan, 50 gold. And once you have chosen your army, which by the way is deployed behind this blue line, that's kind of the starting zone. So during the draft, you could pick out what cards you want, and you'd put them behind here if they're units, or any items and abilities will go over to the side. So once you have placed all those, then you can click Begin Battle Phase, which I'll do right now. Does that look good on your end?
Yeah, looks amazing.
Okay. All right. Sometimes there's scripting errors and whatnot, but all right, good. So I'll run through just real quickly. I'm not going to go into a really in-depth look at the rules, but hopefully enough that people watching can make sense of this. So game is like chess in that we're going to be using alternating activations. Whoever is the attacking player is going to take an action, then the other player will take an action, and then back and forth. Just one action per turn, just like in chess. Now, unlike in chess, when you act with a unit in this game, like let's say I wanted to move my Swordsman forward, after I'm done acting with it, I will exhaust it by turning it 90 degrees clockwise. And once it's exhausted, you cannot act with it again that round. So we're going to go back and forth taking actions, either moving, attacking, or using an ability. Those are the three actions you can take. And eventually we're going to get to a point where the entire board is exhausted. All units are exhausted. Then we will refresh all of our units and start a new round. And we will do that for 7 rounds. And then at the end of the 7th round, we will take a look at the central hex. And if the attacking player has a unit in the central hex, they will have won the game. Otherwise, the defending player will have won the game. So it's an asymmetric victory condition, and there's no way to tie as a result. There will always be a winner. So let me run through the 3 actions very quickly. First of all, let's take a look at, let's do 4 demonstration turns, and then I'll reset the game and we'll start playing.
Okay.
So let's take a look at the cave troll, which you're going to be able to bring it up, highlight it on the screen. So the cave troll, by the way, let's just start looking in the top right. You see that 9, that gold value?
Yeah.
That is as I was referencing earlier, the gold cost or the provision cost. So we're both playing 50 gold armies, so everything you have adds up to 50. But yeah, looking back at except the hero over there, but we'll get to that in a moment. The cave troll at the bottom, you see that it has 2 movement. That number in the middle is the movement value. And you can move up to 2 X's with this unit, therefore. So let's say it's your turn, and we'll say that you're the attacking player, which, again, attacking just means that your victory condition is to be in that central hex at the end of the 7th round. And normally we would roll to see who is the attacking player. High roll would be the attacker. Well, let's just say for demonstration purposes, you're the attacker. You're going to go first. You want to activate the cave troll and move it. Since it has 2 movement, you could move here, 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 or here. Any of these spaces are legal right now. You cannot by default move through allied units unless they have a certain keyword. Like, for example, if you look at the grunt, that has allied pathing on it. And I guess you might as well demonstrate now that if you look on the back of the card, all of the keywords are defined, which basically means the cards themselves are the glossary. You don't need, some extra, rule sheet constantly next to you. Once you know the core rules, you're pretty much just going to be able to reference the cards for everything you need. So yeah, that has allied pathing, which means it can move through allied units, but the cave troll does not, so it cannot move through allied units. So let's just, as a matter of demonstration, move this out too. And this die right here, this is a free shield to whatever unit gets in the middle hex first. Shield is basically temporary extra health. So in the case of the cave troll, it has 8 health by default, as you can see in the bottom right. And of course, when its damage equals its health, it's dead and removed from the battlefield. But now because of this little shield, it effectively has 9 health. And if it takes any damage, then the shield will be removed first, just counting as 1 point of damage. It doesn't block the entire instance like in Hearthstone or something like that. And then it'll start eating into the cave troll's health. So we'll use this built-in health or damage counter on the cards to track that. In real life, you would normally use like a red D6, something like this. But just because it's simpler in Tabletop Simulator, we have these built-in card counters that are just going to track the damage. So again, once that got to 8, the unit would be dead and would be removed from the battlefield. So that's a movement action. Now let's do an attack action. So you would have taken that action. Now it's my turn. So now part of the reason we have that free shield out in the middle is not only to encourage proactivity, people, moving out to the middle, but also because you're generally now going to be in range of some of my units. So such is the case with my elite longbow archer down here. So elite longbow archer, it is ranged because if you look at the bottom, the second number from the left is a ranged value. And it's very important to know that the first value on the left is always its damage value. That's always the damage it will deal during combat, either attacking or retaliating. But the second value is the damage it can deal at range. So it can deal 2 damage to a unit within 3 range. And there's no line of sight in this game. So if I wanted to attack the cave troll with that elite longbow archer, I would exhaust it. Arrow's going to fly out maybe through the night here, hit the cave troll, and then that shield absorbs the first point of damage, and then we'll actually put another point on it. Remove the shield from the battlefield, and that'd be my turn. Now it's your turn, and I'm going to move the grunt up 2. The grunt also has 2 movement, so I'm going to move the grunt up here so I can demonstrate a melee attack now. So let's take a look at the swordsman. Swordsman is a melee attacker. We know it's melee because it doesn't have a ranged value. Instead, it just has an attack and retaliation value there on the left, and it's 3. And we notice that the Grunt has 4 health. So a melee attacker can only attack what is adjacent to it by default, but this is where you got to put your chess hat on for a second. In chess, whenever you kill a piece, so to speak, or capture a piece, you take over its space. And it's the same thing in this game. If you're a melee attacker and you attack an adjacent unit, you're going to need at least 1 movement point, because what's actually happening is you're moving into that unit's hex. You're trying to kill it, and if you successfully kill it, then you are now going to occupy that hex. So since the Swordsman has 3 power, if the Grunt had 3 health, it would one-shot it, as we would say. You can kind of think of First Strike from Magic. It would just kill it outright, and then the Grunt would be removed, and the Swordsman would occupy its hex. But in this case, the Grunt actually has 4 health, and the Swordsman has 3 attack power. So what's going to happen is it's going to walk in, deal 3 damage. The Grunt's not going to be dead, so the Grunt will get to retaliate. The Grunt also has 3 power, so it's going to deal 3 damage back to the Swordsman now. The Swordsman is also not dead, so you can imagine them fighting in that hex. Neither of them are dead, so the Swordsman gets pushed back to the hex it attacked from, and it's going to be exhausted, and that's how that turn would end.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, so if you can grasp that concept that a melee attacker has to move into the defender's hex when attacking, that's probably the trickiest core rule in this game, but again, shouldn't be too hard if you have a background in chess. So I've shown you movement, I've shown you ranged attack, melee attack, and the last thing I need to demonstrate is an ability. So let's take a look at the Troll Doctor over here. The Troll Doctor, unlike some of these other cards I've shown you, if you look in the top right underneath the gold cost, has a starting mana value. And you see that that starting value is 3. So when you draft this card, you would automatically put a blue D6 equal to that value on the card. So again, we're not using D6s in here just for simplicity, but the scripting knew to put 3 on there. So that's its starting mana. And this is a war game, so you start at full strength and you're going to kind of diminish over the course of the game. So mana doesn't regenerate by default, health doesn't regenerate by default. Instead, you basically have 3 mana that you can use. That's your energy to use the Troll Doctor's abilities. And so its abilities are stated in the ability text box. And the first ability is a passive. It's the allied pathing, which we talked about already. Means it can move through allied units, but then below that it has 2 active abilities, and an active ability means you will consume an action when you use that ability. So the first ability is Heal, and it costs 1 mana, so that's how much you would tick that blue die down by when you use it. And then the next value is the cast range for that ability. So it's important to understand that that is not attack, that is the cast range just for that ability. The Troll Doctor down at the bottom, you can see it can attack for 1 damage within 2 range, but that's just its regular attack. That has nothing to do with its abilities. So Heal costs 1 mana, 3 cast range, and then it says target allied unit is healed for 2, and I'll explain what combinable means here in a moment. But if you look at the field, you see that the Cave Troll is within 3 range. So all we would have to do is right-click on that little blue counter. It's going to reduce the mana by 1. We'd exhaust this. Oh, I already did it, so I'll re-add that. My bad. And then we can remove the damage from the Cave Troll. But in this case, that was a bit wasteful because the Cave Troll only had 1 damage on it, and the Troll Doctor heals for 2. So what if we wanted to heal the Grunt instead, which has 3 damage on it? That would get full use of the heal ability, but it's out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where we got to look at keywords again. You notice that that heal ability, it says it's combinable. So look on the back of the card. Combinable says this unit can move and use this ability in a single action. So what I could do first is move the Troll Doctor forward, then use one of the mana to heal the Grunt. Like that.
Easy.
And so, exactly, easy. So that is combining actions, which Combinable lets you do. It only lets you combine an ability with a movement, though. And that might raise the question in your mind, is there a way to combine moving and attacking? And the answer is yes, and I will demonstrate that right now, because now it's my turn, and we will look at the Knight, which has charging. And if you look at the back, you'll see that charging says this unit can move and attack in a single action. So that's going to let us violate that rule where melee attackers can normally only attack what is adjacent. As long as our movement value will let us go into the defender's hex, because remember, you're trying to take over the defender's hex, we can move in there and kill it. So the Grunt, even though we've healed it, actually only has 3 health left. And the Knight has 3 power, so we can go 1, 2, whack the Grunt, kill it, it's dead, it'd be removed from the battlefield, and now the Knight will take its place.
Okay. That seems pretty clear.
The only other thing I'll say about the Knight, if you look back at its keywords, has armor 1. So if you look at the back, that says this unit reduces incoming physical damage by that much. So as that implies, there's different damage types. In this, the armies we're playing, we're going to see magical and physical damage. I won't explain all the nuances of that right now. You just need to know that combat is physical damage by default, and then there's some ways to either reduce physical or magical damage, and there's ways that those interact. And if anybody's ever played a MOBA like Dota or League, it'll be pretty intuitive. But 2 different damage types. That is the rules overview, except one other thing I need to explain, and that's the hero. So we each have a hero in our army. Yours up here is Carthol, because when you click that starter button earlier, you chose what hero you wanted to play with, picked Carthol. It's like, I guess, the leader, the main unit in your army, but it's more like the queen in chess. It's your most powerful unit, but if Carthol dies, the game is not over. So you can play aggressively with your hero if you want. You can sacrifice it just like you could do with your queen in chess. And Carthol's kind of squishy. He only has 3 health. He has a lot of mana, though, because most of his power comes from his abilities, which we'll look at in a moment. Over on my side of the board, then, I have Tristan, who's the opposite. He's on the front line, and he has 6 health. So he's going to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Cave Troll even. And you might be wondering, all right, where are their abilities? What makes them so powerful and special? Well, just as you can customize your army during your draft, you can also customize your hero, and that's what's going on over at the side. So during the draft, you would have picked out what abilities and items go on your hero, and those have gold costs, just like your units. So the bigger you want to make your hero, maybe the smaller you'll make your army. And again, going back to MOBAs, it's similar concept. You're going to pick out what levels you want, what items you want, and you're just going to kind of customize your hero the way you want. So that is the rules overview. Is there anything else I should cover for your audience? Something to relate to them or anything like that?
I'd probably say the last thing I'd say is how do you win exactly? So you did already mention to us that the person who starts, the attacker, they need to end in this little hex here by the end of the 7th round. If they are not within this hex, you lose and the defenders win. So after every card is exhausted, we say end round, and it goes over to the next round, and everything resets. And it only lasts 7 rounds maximum. So it's basically that's the goal of this game, just to make that clear.
Cool. All right, well, we can have you be the attacking player. So normally we would take these roll cards, and they come with the game, and basically you can flip them over depending on whether you're the attacker or the defender. So you hit F flip, so you'll be the attacker.
Oh.
What's that?
They're completely white, just so you...
Oh, they're white?
Yeah, they're not
Oh,
normally
they didn't
white.
load on your end?
Yeah.
They didn't load on your end? All right, great. Good job, TTS. Oh no, I'm gonna blame your internet actually. All right, well, that had really cool art on it.
Yeah, I know
Your
you were
audience will
like
just have to check it out later.
showing it off in detail, and it's all white, so I just thought
Nice.
I might tell you.
All right. So we'll have you be the attacker. Again, normally you'd roll for it, but yeah, you can go first and get things started.
Okay. Here we go, chat. Okay, so we wanna secure the middle here, and we are gonna go forward 2 spaces with our cave troll, I would say. I'm gonna play it right here. Exhaust it. And I also get the little shield, which works like armor in Gwent, just so you know.
Nice. Yep. Okay, so my turn now. And general rule of thumb is in the start of this game with openings, you want to move out your pawn-like units first. You don't want to do anything too drastic. So in my case, I have like the Swordsman over here, and I have this Pikeman over here. These are kind of low-value units. I can move them out pretty safely, and if they die, it's not a big deal. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to start off by moving out a Pikeman, and now it is your turn.
Okay, so you moved out a pikeman, which has 3 health. I can't do much here except maybe move forward a grunt. I think I likely, because obviously we can't attack it has to be next to it already. So I would suggest maybe moving forward a grunt
Yeah,
by 1 space, perhaps.
yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Definitely. That's very safe. Yeah, and your grunt, likewise, it's a 4 gold unit. It's kind of like a pawn, so you're just going to try to protect the cave troll in the middle.
Yeah.
And the pikeman, it's worth noting if you look at it real quick, has steadfast, which if you read the back, it says this unit cannot be charged. So that's going to give a little bit of protection from your units as well. That's why it's safe moving it out. So one thing I'm trying to keep in mind as I move my units out, I'm trying not to line them up because one of Carthul's most powerful abilities, if we look over here, is Chain Lightning, which says deal 3, 2, and 1 magic damage to 3 target chained units. So chained means they're connected on the board. They're all adjacent to one another. So I want to be very careful grouping up my units, lining them up, because then you're going to be able to get a huge amount of value out of that. So I'm going to, I think, move over to the other side now, and I think I'll just move the other pikeman out. Your turn.
Okay, let's see. So I actually do have charging here, but it will cause me to... No, it's... I don't...
It has steadfast anyway, so...
I can't charge it.
Yeah.
Cannot charge it. Okay, I will have to go forward with my grunt. Question is just whether I want to protect anything from the knight, because that's a bit scary. I wonder, I might very well move my grunt to wait, let's see, you've got a ranged card right here. Yeah, you can bonk my card anyway. I want to say I'm going to move the grunt forward, perhaps by 1 space again, I guess.
Yeah, that's safe.
Space.
That's safe.
Okay.
Because if you moved it forward too, you would have also been in range of this, which would have been a little bit bad. So that was a good move. I'm gonna go ahead and attack the grunt because my knight has armor. Well, first of all, it has charging, so I can move over that empty space and hit it. But since I have armor, it's going to be kind of a decent trade for me, since my the incoming damage will be reduced by 1. So I'm going to charge in, deal 3 damage to you. Your grunt's not dead, so it's going to retaliate and deal 3 damage to the knight, but that will be reduced by 1. So it only take 2, and now I get pushed back there. I'm exhausted, and now it is your turn.
Alright. So, let us see. This fearsome manticore is a little bit more expensive. It can fly, meaning it can go over my cards and yours. It has physical damage return 4, meaning, yeah, it returns the damage you give to me, essentially, up until 4. I wonder, I might as well move this forward by 1.
I would wait
You'd
and do
wait.
that because here's why, and this is just thinking ahead a few turns.
Yeah.
If I kill the grunt's at 1 health right now. If I kill the grunt with the archer,
Oh, I see.
then next round there's going to be a hole here
Yeah. I should
for me to
heal
go
it.
through. Well, you don't have to heal it. It's just you want to wait and not use the manticore, because if this ends up dying, you can then use the manticore to fill that spot and block.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be able to do that if you've already used it. So I would say at this point you probably want to, I think you're probably safe moving
Goblin.
the flanker up, yeah.
Let's see. 1, 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, you want to move up 3. Yeah. So the Goblin Flanker, if you want to take a look at that, what it is good for is basically killing my squishy backline units that have 2 health or less. It's not good at head-to-head combat in like the front lines, hence the name Flanker. And it only costs 3 gold, so if I end up devoting one of my units to killing it, that's kind of beneficial, because that means I was distracted by it and I wasn't focusing my attention on something more important, like say your grunt or your cave troll. So if you put the Goblin Flanker here, yes, it is now in range of my archer and I could kill it, but that means again the archer isn't killing the grunt like we talked about earlier. So that's why it's a pretty strong move to go right there, rather than like being timid and keeping it in the back.
I gotcha.
Okay, so you can make that move, then it would be my turn. I am going to go ahead and shoot the grunt. So the grunt is now dead, so we're going to drop it over here in the graveyard, and it is now your turn.
Alrighty. Let's see.
Right now, Chain Lightning, this is worth noting. Chain Lightning, you see on the ability text, it says 2 mana and 2 cast range. Well, because we drafted this other item on Carthol, back here, this rod, all of your abilities actually have +1 cast range.
Yeah.
So your Chain Lightning actually has 3 cast range, your Lightning Bolt actually has 3 cast range. Right now, there's not a good Chain Lightning target, really.
Yeah.
But what you can do is your Lightning Bolt, since it's combinable, you could step forward 1, Lightning Bolt something, and then that way you're also in a better hex for next round when you want to use Chain Lightning. So definitely one move you could do right now is just moving forward and using your Lightning Bolt on something. Yeah, it could be that.
Well,
if you wanted, or it could be the Knight or the Swordsman.
Let's see. So I can move forward twice, but I have 1 less movement this turn if combined, and that can go forward by 2. So it would mean, okay, so I move forward by 1.
Yeah, basically if you combine it with a movement, you can only move 1. You couldn't move like a full 2.
But how is it that we can reach that target at the back? Because we have 2 movement for the mana on the Lightning Bolt.
So you're going to move forward 1 from the combinable, and then because of the rod, you have +1 cast range.
Yeah, there we
go. So the Lightning Bolt is actually 3. So 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. And if we look back on Lightning Bolt, it says deal 2 magic damage to target unit. The armor on the Knight only stops physical damage.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
So that's why these spells are pretty good against the Knights. So if you pinged the Knight, that would be a bit of value since it's ignoring the armor, but maybe you want to ping one of these. I'll just let you decide.
I see no reason not to ping the Knight. I'd like to get rid of that sooner than later, so we'll go with that.
Well, that's unfortunate for me. That basically, so we'll put 2 damage on this. The Knight is now at 1 health. This basically forces me to heal the Knight. I have 1 healer. It's in the back. my priest. And I'm basically forced to heal the knight now, because if I don't heal it, then your crag wyvern is going to fly in and kill my knight. So if we take a look at the priest right here, the priest has this first ability called Bless. It costs 1 mana, has 4 cast range, so it's more cast range than your Troll Doctor for its heal. It also heals for 2, but also has more mana. So there's just different pros and cons to my healers versus yours. So I'm going to pay 1 mana, heal the knight. Now it has only 2 damage again, and now it is your turn.
Alright, so let's see. Crag Wyvern would only do 2 points of damage. It's not worth doing, especially since it's 8. Let's see. We could technically... nope, we cannot take out your pikeman. It has steadfast. I guess I maybe just want to move my Troll Doctor 1 forward to have more range next turn.
That's fair. Yep, it'll be in a better position for next round. Okay. I'm going to... Yes, I will move my Swordsman forward. I'm not crazy about this, but because I'm starting to set up a nice chain lightning target for you, especially if I move Tristan forward, it'll give you 3 units to chain lightning. So we'll go ahead and do that anyway. I'll move the Swordsman up. It's your turn.
Okay. I think I sort of maybe skip at this point, unless...
No, definitely not, because remember,
you can just
that is a hole that needs to be plugged. So yeah, you need to deal with that.
Sort of go here.
No, come over here, because the knight can charge and kill your hero. So you need to just be able to block the knight from that.
I see what you mean. Alright, that is fair enough. Fair enough.
And then it's my turn. So I think I'll use my Adept Tempest Mage next. So if we take a look at this, it has 2 abilities. First one, for 1 mana within 3 range, I can deal 2 magic damage. That's going to be useful against your Razormane Manticore, which has physical damage return. So it'll prevent that from triggering. And then the second ability is Thunderclap, exhaust target enemy unit. There's nothing in range from me to exhaust, or everything's already exhausted, so there's no point in doing that, but I'll pay 1 mana just to... I think I'll put it on the Grunt right here. So then now the Grunt is within the kill threshold of my Pikeman and my Swordsman if I want to attack that. So that'll be my turn. Now it's your turn, and I'll explain that last core rule that I haven't mentioned yet, which is how priority is determined on subsequent rounds. Because even though you took the first action in this round, it doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to take the first action in subsequent rounds. So here's the rule. The player who acts last in a round will act second in the next round. So right now, I am the player who acted last. And again, an action is move, attack, or use an ability. So I acted by using this unit's ability to lightning strike your Grunt. What that means is if you skip your Crag Wyvern's action, you basically just waste its action, do nothing with it, and still exhaust it, you will guarantee that you go first next round, because I'm still the player that acted last. But if you decide to move the Wyvern forward, like let's say maybe you want to move it here so that it's in position to kill one of my backline units next round, that's going to count as an action. You will have been the player that took the last action, and then if I skip with my hero, I would guarantee that I go first the next round. So basically there's this aspect of the game where you can basically waste your actions, and we say skipping actions, in order to guarantee who goes first or second. And sometimes that's beneficial. Sometimes you are willing to do that because going first is that valuable. So I'll let you decide. Would you Do you think it's more important to get your Crag Wyvern in position right here for next round? Or do you think it's more important that you go first next round?
I think it's definitely more important that we skip and go first next round.
Okay. So since I'm guaranteed to go second next round, I'm allowed to use up my remaining actions, as many in a row as I want, and I might as well because again, I'm guaranteed to go second. My only hesitation here is if I move there, you're going to have a really nice chain lightning setup. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to move Tristan right here. The reason being, if you use your Goblin Flanker to kill my archer, then I have at least the option of killing it later, so it doesn't stay in the back line. So I think that's where we'll end. I'll exhaust Tristan. Everything is now exhausted, so that means we're at the end of the round. And in real life, we would just go through and refresh everything or untap if you want to think of magic terms. But in this fancy mod, you can click the end round button. So that's what you can do now.
Woo. All right.
Whoa. So you get that precious first action on the second round. And you have, like I said, you could still do a chain lightning, but it would only be on like 2 targets. Or you could hit something with a cave troll, or you could use the Goblin Flanker to kill the elite longbow archer. You have a bunch of options. I'll let you decide what you want to do.
I'm not gonna lie, I sort of want to take out your knight. It's a rather pesky card.
Okay.
I'd say with my cave troll, yeah.
All right, that's sad. Yeah. So the knight has 3 health remaining. Cave troll has 5 attack. So even with the armor, it's going to kill it. And what happens when a melee attacker kills a defender?
It is happy.
No.
Yeah, we moved
Maybe.
into it.
But also we moved it to the defender's hex. In this case, it's probably happy. I think the cave troll enjoys killing knights and probably has done it for sport for many years.
Sounds
So
right.
now it is my turn. And I have to get efficient now with my plays because that was a pretty big loss. My knight, just as a comparison, you've already lost your grunt, which is a 4 gold unit. I just lost my knight, which is an 8 gold unit. So I'm a bit behind in terms of trades now. I need to make up for this. I think I'm going to start off by using my elite longbow archer to kill your... Ooh, actually, no. I'm going to do this. I'm going to use my pikeman to kill your goblin flanker. That's going to accomplish 2 things. It's not only going to eliminate that threat, but it's also going to get the pikeman away from your manticore, which could kill otherwise. So that's going to be my turn.
Alright. Let's see. So my grunt is basically dead anyway if I don't quickly make use of it. So I'd say it's probably best to kill the pikeman.
Yeah, you could heal it, but your healer only has 3 charges and it is just a grunt. So it feels a little wasteful. Yeah, it's a little wasteful. So yeah, you could kill the pikeman outright, or you could put 3 damage on the swordsman, not kill it. The grunt would still die.
I'd rather just probably kill the I'd kill the pikeman, I'd say.
All right, yeah, because you're gonna one-shot it since the pikeman only has 3 health, and the grunt has 3 damage. So that opens me up to counter attack if I want, but there's no rush. This is already exhausted. You're probably not going to heal it because it's just a grunt. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. Instead, I am going to do this. Tristan is a little bit out of position. I need to get Tristan in a better place to start potentially pressure your hero. So Tristan has an ability called Shield Bash.
Oof, not shield bash.
Not Shield Bash, and It costs 1 mana. It's combinable, so I can move and use it in the same turn. It says exhaust targeted adjacent enemy unit and deal 1 physical damage to it. So I think what I'm going to do is rush up and pay a mana and shield bash your Manticore. So it's going to take 1 physical damage, but since the Manticore has physical damage return, it's going to reflect that back. It's not going to reflect 4 back, it just reflects up to 4 incoming physical damage. So Tristan starts the battle with 2 shield because of one of his passive abilities. So that damage that gets returned is going to be absorbed by the shield.
All right. Yeah, it's a bit scary. Tristan is a scary guy. Let's see his other abilities. Just checking. Okay, it doesn't have charging, just various different abilities. So it's not a direct threat to Carthul, technically. Not right now, though. What can we do to it is the question. Yeah, we're in a bit of trouble. Let's see, we've got a combinable lightning bolt, and we've got chain lightning, which sounds quite nice, actually.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. Even though you only have 2 targets, this wouldn't be a bad opportunity to just do a chain lightning on these 2.
Yeah, I think that's a nice idea. I probably end up going, yeah, so we'll give Tristan 3 damage, and we'll give the Swordsman 2 damage, and just reduce the mana. Let's just see how much does it cost. It's 2 mana, expensive, and no, 2. There we go. Exhaust.
And yep, chain lightning is not combinable, so you have to just be in the place you want to be in to use it, and that can keep you exposed. All right, so what I'm going to do, the Crag Wyvern could kill the Swordsman, and you're probably going to do that, I imagine. So I'm just going to use the Swordsman now to kill that.
Right. Well, what can we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. So I could technically take my Crag Wyvern, fly. Wait, let's just make sure. Yeah, this does not have steadfast. I could technically get rid of your Swordsman, right?
Yes, you could. That'd be a pretty good play.
I like that. Let's go for it.
Good. All right, and I'm going to use my Adept Tempest Mage to do 2 damage to it, and that's kind of to force out your heal, because now this only has 2 health left, which means it can very easily die to Tempest Mage or the Longbow Archer. So now you could heal the Manticore, but again, kind of wasteful because there's only 1 damage on it.
Yeah. I definitely think we go with Allied Pathing, and we will heal the Crag Wyvern. Probably not move the Troll Doctor, I'd say. I think we keep it here for now. And
Okay.
yeah, just do 1 heal.
Okay. Fair enough. Yep, and that keeps it in a good position to attack whatever's in the middle later. So now I'm going to... I have 2 actions remaining. You are tapped out, or you're completely exhausted. And I have 2 actions remaining. If I wanted to guarantee that I went first next round, I would have to skip with both these. That's a bit wasteful, though. I'm going to use the Priest to heal Tristan, and I'm going to use the Elite Longbow Archer to hit the Cave Troll. I don't want to hit the Manticore because of the physical damage return. It does affect ranged units, so I would actually kill myself if I did that. So instead, I'm just going to hit that. It's now the end of the second round, so you can click end round, and you get to go first again.
I mean, that's pretty nice. Let's see what damage can be done. Okay, let's see. So with Cave Troll, we've got 5 points of damage, but that wouldn't kill Tristan.
It wouldn't, and I would be able to retaliate for 4 because something to point out real quick, I do have Sunblade on Tristan, which gives him +1 power. So he's actually hitting for 4, not 3.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts. I've got the Crag Wyvern, but again, that just dies. Does it matter whether I start off? I could just as well maybe use the
Yeah,
Crag.
you don't have to even worry about Tristan. I mean, these units, if you don't deal with these units, you will lose, and this is your only good option for killing them now.
Yeah.
So
So we've got the
could
Priest,
consider
Tempest
killing one of
Mage,
those.
and the Archer. Yeah, I'm strongly considering that. I think I will take the Crag Wyvern and kill your Adept Tempest Mage.
Okay. That's yeah, that was a great pick because the Tempest Mage is part of what was countering your Manticore. So now you've basically made this card an even bigger threat on the board. What I'm gonna do then is arrest your Cave Troll. So let's take a look at my arrest ability over here.
All right, arrest.
So this is another ability that's on Tristan. Combinable target adjacent enemy unit is disarmed. And if you look on the back of the card, disarmed says when a unit is disarmed, it cannot attack or retaliate. On the front again, it says +1 action if not combined. So if I don't combine that ability with a movement, if I just basically stay in the same hex when I use it, I get +1 action, which just means I'm not exhausted. Doesn't mean I can use that extra action this turn, because again, the fundamental rule of this game is you can only do 1 action per turn, but I could use that action again later. So I'm going to arrest the Cave Troll, and we'll just put this little token on top of the Cave Troll to remind us that it is disarmed. And now it is your turn, and you could, yes, you could remove the disarm with that, but that's going to cost a mana.
Well, you're trying to take it out, so let's see, what can you actually do here? You can just straight up attack it with Tristan. Yeah, no, I think I might need to remove the...
Well, let me give you
debuff.
one other option. Remember, this just disarms it. You could still just move it away.
That is
Like, you
true.
could just, yeah, you could just move it if you wanted. But if you wanted to kind of maintain that position, then yeah, and stay there, then you would probably want to remove the disarm. So I'll let you choose.
I think I might just remove the disarm here. Just
Okay.
for interest's sake. See what happens.
No particular strategic reason, just curiosity.
Yes, exactly.
All right, well, now I'm scared of the Cave Troll again.
Good.
So I'm just going to run over. I'm going to run up here and use my Shield Bash again, and I'm going to Shield Bash Carthel. And the reason I did that is now I have a fork set up for next round. So regardless of whether you move this away or this away, I'll be able to kill the other one potentially.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And then that also got me away from the Cave Troll. So now it is your turn, and you have a couple options. You could kind of like move things over and try to defend Carthel, or you could kind of just accept that Carthel is going to be dead. You know, maybe he's done his job. It's fine, and you could do something like start rushing my backline with these other units, or you just stay in the middle and kind of protect the middle. So a few options there for you.
Let's see. Your priest will bless and dispel. That's not exactly a threat to me. Your archer will do 2 damage. That's also not a direct threat right now to my wyvern, so I'm feeling pretty happy about that. Cave Troll is in range to get damaged. I think I might just move it here.
Okay. Yeah, that's good, because if I kill Carthel now, you'll be in position to hit me. All right, I'm going to use my Elite Longbow Archer to attack your Crag Wyvern.
Fair enough. And I am going to pass boss.
You're gonna pass, okay. Let's see. I think I'm gonna bring my pikemen down here. That way, if you kill my Longbow Archer, I'll be able to hit back and kill the Wyvern. Tristan is definitely looking surrounded over here. And I'll move my, so again, since you're tapped out, I can take any number of actions I want in a row. I'm guaranteed to go second no matter what. I'm going to move my priest up here again, so if you kill the priest as well, I'll be able to hit back with a pikeman. So that'll be the end of this round. You can click end round. We're going into the 4th round out of 7, and you get to go first yet again.
Okay, let's see. Well, I'm afraid of a lot of things, to be fair, but I feel like my crag wyvern will just die unnecessarily if I don't take out your long. But then again, it's gonna die anyway.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but,
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
I agree with that. So I have a few options for what I could do. I could shield bash something and get away, or just attack something. What I am concerned about, though, is let's say that I move this here and kill Carthul.
Yeah.
Or let's say I like move, I don't know, move back here and shield bash something. That could open you up to moving forward and then healing the Crag Wyvern.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what I'm going to do is just kill your Troll Doctor, and that also gets me away from your Manticore and your Cave Troll.
Okay. All right, let's check. We've got the Manticore left. We've got Cave Troll left. We've got your Pikeman left. Yeah, we've got Pikeman left, which could be a problem. Let's see, Pikeman. Pikeman will do 2 points of damage. I mean,
you can be pretty certain at this point I'm going to use the pikeman to kill that.
Yeah.
So you can kind of keep that in mind, but there's nothing really you can do to stop that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more right now it's thinking about like, do you want to, I don't know, do something with Carthul? Do you want to do something with a cave troll? And I wouldn't worry about the Manticore right now.
Okay, so I'm looking at the lightning bolts potentially, which is combinable.
Mm-hmm.
And I maybe move away from you into, let's see, combinable -1 movement. So I would move here potentially.
Yeah.
And then use the lightning bolt to hit Tristan.
That's a great move.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So 2 damage on Tristan, and yeah, now that prevents me from being able to attack Carthul next round. Carthul is getting low on mana though, so once Carthul is out of mana, he's basically just a fat archer at that point. Because he can do 1 damage within 2 range with his normal attack, and he has 3 health. So you're almost to the point where you could even sacrifice Carthul, because he doesn't contribute a whole lot. I'm going to do this now. I'm going to kill your Wyvern, and then see what you do with your other units.
I think I'd like to bring my cave troll back into the center, really.
Okay.
I'm getting a bit defensive here.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have to be, you're the attacker, so you have to be in that central X at the end of the 7th round.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to now, since Tristan's within 4 range of my priest, I'm going to heal Tristan back up to full. And now you have the Razor Main. You can move it into like a more offensive position. If you want to pressure these, you could set up a fork down here. But then you would be going second next round. That might be worth it, though.
Yeah, I can't really see any reason I would want to go first. I don't have charging on anything. Nothing makes it worth it. So, let's see. Your pikeman can do 2 points of damage, which isn't exactly a problem for me. So I'm just gonna move this here, I think.
Okay. Yep, that's fine. All right, so we'll go into the next round. It is my turn. The only immediate threat is these two. It's kind of a question of which one do I want to save. Yeah, the priest has 1 heal left. It's done good work this game. I'm ready to say farewell. Thank you. His name's Robert.
Robert.
I'm going to just use, therefore, my pikeman. I'm just going to throw it into the manticore to get 2 points of damage on it, and the pikeman's going to die. And that way, the manticore is now within the kill threshold if I attack it with Tristan, and that's what I want. I need to get, as I move into the end game, I need to be in a position where Tristan can just one-shot as many things as possible. So it's your turn.
All right. Just looking at all your one-shots you have. Yeah. I honestly, I think I will use my manticore to just kill your priest.
Right.
There we go.
Okay.
None more of that.
Okay, I'm going to move this here, and I think I'm just going to arrest the cave troll. And I set up a little fork right there, or maybe you'll move, Carthel, this next turn. But it's now your turn. You would have to skip out if you wanted to go first.
Okay.
You could also do something like a lightning bolt, Tristan, and move away. Well, actually, it doesn't really matter. Once he's out of mana, doesn't really matter what happens to him.
Yeah, well, let's see. Let's see. If you attack me with 3, that's not exactly gonna kill my cave troll. So, yeah,
I have 4. Don't forget,
yeah, you
because
have
of
4
the sunblade. Yeah, that's 4.
into my cave troll. I'm gonna attack you back with 5 though. So I'd rather just use Carthel now.
Okay.
Use Carthel to lightning bolt, which will do 2 points of damage. And I also would probably like to move away here.
Okay.
So let's see, -1 movement. So I just do this, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, so you did 2 damage. Carthel is now out of mana. And your cave troll. All right, so it's still your go. You can either exhaust or move your cave troll. Skip with your cave troll, move it.
Just do this.
Okay. Okay, so I'm still going first next round because you're the last person who acted. And so we're in the 6th round. This is the second to last round, and I am once again. I think I have to arrest the cave troll again. Your turn, and I don't exhaust because I didn't combine it with a movement.
But did you use mana?
No, arrest has no mana cost.
Well, that is amazing.
That's why Tristan is very good late game. Shit. And I have 1 mana left over for Shield Bash if I need it.
One mana left for Shield Bash. Let's see. I'm gonna move this here.
Yeah. I will attack the cave troll for 4. And it's your turn.
Okay, I skip out.
All right, you win then. So this is the last round. Oops, we clicked it twice. This is the 7th round. So yeah, you get to go first. You're gonna whack Tristan.
Yeah, I just bonk
you will be dead. And then
move here.
You do have to move something in. Yeah, you actually, and that's key, you have to actually be able to move something in there. Like, let's say that these were the only units, or let's say your cave troll was the only unit remaining, and you had to attack Tristan to win, but you ended up outside of that hex at the end of the 7th round, I would still win. So fortunately, you had the Manticore to move in there. But yeah, that was a good game. Hopefully,
Awesome.
everybody was able to follow along with that. Okay.
Yeah, GG.